All right. Well, good evening, good
Good
evening, good
evening.
evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, everybody. I believe I'm live right now. We should be live on Facebook and we should be live on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, the Leadership TKO live station.com. Welcome aboard, everyone. And so I'm just going to validate just to make sure that we're good with the live here. So it looks like we are good. And if there are any concerns, let us know. But welcome everyone to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. I want to welcome everyone here. I'm your host, Lakeisha McKnight, your leadership specialist and wealth mentor. Remember, this show goes live every single evening, somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the purposes of empowering you as a leader with the ability to win from the inside out, growing your influence, your impact, and your income, okay? That is what we intend to do on this show. And as you can see, I have a very special co-host. I'm going to have him, of course, there we go, to get into this video a little bit better here. So do me a quick favor. Before we dive into the topic matter tonight, do me a quick favor. Love the stream that you're tuning into right now. For those of you listening in and those of you watching, go ahead and love the stream. Number two, feel free to comment below as we're here live together. Comment below the video or in the comments area on the podcast platform. And then lastly, share this out on your fan pages, on your timelines, wherever you want to share this. Be a blessing to those that you're connected to. All right. And so again, welcome aboard, everyone. Very special co-host of mine is here on today. And of course, he's not somebody that gets in front of the camera often. So we're going to make sure that we get straight to the point. And of course, we have some kiddos who are right next door. And so we don't want to leave them lonesome too long, okay? So we're going to make sure we jump into the point, and then I'm going to focus in on the rest of the show. All right. And so tonight we're talking about how to really do business and do life together. Again, how to do business and do life together with your significant other. We're talking about intimate relationships and business. Does it work?
Hey.
All right. So I'm going to let my husband introduce himself really quick because I know I can do a whole lot of talking. So take it away, babe.
Hello, everyone. I'm Keith McKnight, Lakeisha's husband. I know y'all see her all the time. I'm usually in the background, but yeah, the Freedom Mentor, that's what I call myself, the Freedom Mentor, just showing people how to, in this day and time, not just this day and time, but just showing people how to live a life of freedom, basically. That's why I say the Freedom Mentor.
All right. So, the big topic at hand, because I know a lot of people are home, spouses are home. We find a lot of our, we just have a whole lot of time, and I've actually read a statistic that even within the state of Virginia, and it may be high in other states, where there are a lot of couples that are facing domestic violence. Didn't I show that to you? Mm-hmm. How there are a lot of, because you got the husband, you got the wife, you got your boo, you're both home.
Children probably home.
Your children is probably home, and you're probably getting stressed out. Mm-hmm. Okay? You're getting stressed out. We have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. Mm-hmm. And needless to say, it feels like a football team sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
Sometimes. But, that's just something that we have to work around. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So from your perspective, babe, when it comes to being a husband and being in business with me, can you give your perspective and share your perspective on that? Whether you feel that there are some pros, some cons, and you can just be honest. And I might get you a little later, but be a little honest and share with those who are watching right now just your perspective from a male standpoint.
Well, to me, it's as long. I feel like when we're doing something together, as long as we are doing it together, mm-hmm. That's a positive thing. Like, it would be difficult, I feel like, if you were doing one thing and I was doing another thing totally separate, not business related, mm-hmm. or anything like that. It might be hard and difficult. But for the most part, for us, I feel like we've been, how long now? I'm
a little bit. Well, even beyond the money system.
Beyond that.
We were doing other things together.
Yeah.
And so very, very good point. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's been working. It's been good for us, I'll say. Of course, there are a few cons when, like, because we both have our own. There's one thing that we might do that's separate, different from, but we have to make sure that we are always, taking care of not just the business stuff, but our other responsibilities, like the children in the house and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's been very good. What do you think?
What do I think? And I feel the same way for the most part. As long as we're traveling and we're going in the right direction, like our end game, like the end game is the same as far as creating a legacy, for the McKnight name, not just for the name, but for generations and generations to come.
Yeah.
Generational wealth. And so that's really always been my focus, is just to make sure that our children, don't have to struggle for much of anything, and don't have to obtain a job, if that's not something that they will want.
Yeah. I feel
and then just making sure that we're on one accord when it comes to our vision in life, and understanding, our mission, and just making sure that we're all on one accord. We're both on one accord there. And the kids seem to actually be on board as well when it comes to tuning into our streams, because we have streams, we have trainings and calls, and they're very excited when Mr. Best comes on Wednesdays. They're like, Mr. Best, Key Lacey, she just, Mr. Best, is that Mr. Best right there? So she's definitely taken a liking to Mr. Best, and she also knows Mr. Delco too. So Mr. Delco, if you're ever watching the stream, please understand that my daughter knows you. My daughter knows who you are, and she's 3.
She does.
Okay? They both know what money is.
Yes, they do.
As far as gold.
They know what assets and liabilities are.
Yes. The 3-year-old knows what gold is. She knows that gold is money. She also has a liking to podcasting, and she knows when Mommy's about to do her podcast. So she probably knows that Mommy and Daddy is doing a podcast right now. So they're really quiet right now. Really quiet. Now, if you hear something go boom, and he exits stage, it looks like stage right or left, depending on your perspective, that's the reason why he's heading out. Okay?
Can't leave them unoccupied.
Too long. Not too long. And so, it's been, I definitely say that Pro is definitely heading down the right path, but a con, if we just be transparent for a moment, is because of being in the same house, being able to give each other the proper space that you need, because you might find yourself home for many hours. And I think that's the reason why a lot of couples are struggling. And so they may be stressed out a bit because of whether finances.
Finances, probably one of the number one causes. Yeah. Right.
Finances, just not being on one accord. And here's the thing, because of this self-isolation, because of having to be under one roof for all this time.
Social distancing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that they're coming to understand more about each other, and knowing that there may be some true differences, because now it's forcing themselves to be under the same roof and to get to know.
All the time.
Right. And to spend all this time together and really truly know who the other person is. Would you agree with that?
I would.
Right. And so, I think that it just opens the door for conversation. It should.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, it should.
How important do you think communication is, especially during this challenging time?
It's very important. I think that it's a good thing, in a way that it'll bring people closer together if you're trying to, grow closer together, and causing each other to, communicate more and getting to know each other even better. So that's a good thing, I think, with this social distancing thing that they have in place.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to the heart. First of all, you're getting to know who you are as a person, and you're really reconnecting. Okay? You're reconnecting.
Yeah.
Hello. When you're out and about, to and fro, ripping and running, you're disconnected. Wouldn't you say? Especially if you have 9 to 5s.
If you do, yeah.
Right? You're out and about.
Both of y'all might work a job, and come home, and you've been, I guess, 8 hours away from each other, and then you come back and you have a few hours to spend with each other. You actually that causes you not to get as much time as you want to, or hopefully that they want to want to spend with each other. So
yeah, and I think that again, it just forces you to reconnect and find out what really truly matters in life, valuing the relationships that you have, and valuing each other. It causes you to reevaluate. And I just thought about the importance of just doing something as small as sitting down and asking each other basic questions to find out if things are still the same. Because when you're married, you're constantly getting to know that other person. You're never going to finally know that person because we're always evolving. We're always changing. And so to stay the same person, time in, time out, and not take a moment and embrace the change. Like, of course, if my husband, maybe he didn't know that I enjoyed, traveling, and I'm like inching to get out of the house to want to travel and do things, that could be impinging upon God's purpose for my life during this season, as far as what he wants me to do. And so it's important that you come to an understanding, right? Or the significant other, vice versa, right? And respecting that, hearing the other person out and respecting where that person is in this season. And so I think that's the reason why it's important to be on one accord. And if you can do the same thing when it comes to business, I think that would really be beneficial. Wouldn't you say?
Agree. Yeah.
And so now when it comes to the kids, because we got to talk about that for a moment. Well, okay, let's back up. Even in this challenging times, you really have to find ways of connecting and enjoying time together. So what would you say would be some suggestions for couples out there to really enjoy those, just the simplest things together? What are some things you think that they can do?
I would say as far as in the house.
Yeah, in the house.
I would say, just I'll say reading together, Bible, like reading books, both have a time that you'll read together, and we can do like house chores together
and make it fun.
Put
on
fun.
Some music. And I'm telling you,
something simple as just washing the dishes together, or washing clothes, or something simple like that. It's just simple stuff. What else?
And I would say, here's the thing. It's never a dull moment in the McKnight house because we always like to make up dances. So, and our kids, and once we get the movie, we can't show you an example. We can't do that. But once, our kids get involved and they start dancing, it's done. It's a wrap. So, but yeah, you were going to mention anything else? Any other suggestions?
No, I was just going to ask you what other things you thought as far as simple things to do together.
It could be something as simple as, even though you're right there in person, it could be something as simple as, writing each other a letter.
True.
Yeah. Some people better express themselves on paper
That's true.
Than verbalizing. So
that's true.
I probably would take the speaking for 100, Alex. Oh, look, my mom. My mom joined in the stream, everybody. In addition to that, I would say playing board games.
Cash flow quadrant.
Look, I don't know about that cash flow quadrant. We'd probably be here all day. We'd probably be here all day doing cash flow. It could be anything. Checkers. Yeah. I don't know about chess. You might get me with chess. It could be a number of things. Just the simple things is really that matters. Allowing the kids to go outside and play. Like my kids went outside and played. My 3-year-old had dirt everywhere. So yeah, it might create a little bit more mess, but you want to be creative too because you want to include the kids.
Yeah, and they need to get out the house too. Yeah, they need to get out the house sometimes.
Not sometimes, but a lot of times.
A lot of times, yeah.
Because you'll get the 7-year-old saying, "I want to go outside," or "I'm bored," which reminds me of myself. And I know my mom will concur and say, "Yes, I'll be saying I'm bored all day, especially if something like this is going on. I'll be complaining that I'm bored." But there's no dull moment. There's no bored moment, especially when we're both trying to build a home-based business and really, have all those IPAs we got to do, right? Prospecting, following up, whether it's making phone calls or on social media, Creating content for live streams. You said emails?
Emailing, texting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, texting to remind people about, for example, our wealth presentation going on at 9 o'clock tonight, for example. Mm-hmm. And just a number of things, a myriad of things that, we really want to make sure that we're keeping in mind and that we have a schedule. Now, it's not a set schedule because things change throughout the day, especially when you have kids. So don't beat yourself up if you can't stick with the schedule. Just go with the flow, but make sure you're as productive as possible and you're engaging in those IPAs or those income
producing activities.
That's right, those income producing activities. So making sure we do that. And so, it's been a long time coming. It hasn't always been an easy road, even for Keith and I. We've had hurdles.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to, coming on trying to get on the same page. Mm-hmm. When it comes to different topic matters, whether it's stuff regarding parenting, whether it's stuff regarding just the marriage itself and how to strengthen it. But what is one common thing that you say is something that we have in common or that we agree on when it comes to the marriage?
I would say the number one and for us, the most important thing is our spiritual life. Definitely our spiritual life and our relationship with God. It has to be number one. Yeah. It has to be number one.
And I can figure out, even for myself, I only can speak for myself because I can only be accountable for what I do as a wife. If I know for a fact, if I'm not spending time with God, it will definitely impact other areas of my life. Mm-hmm. It can impact my marriage. It can impact my relationship with my kids, where I'm being so quick with them and not patient enough with them.
And the businesses too.
Because I'll just be like, okay, I'm chilling today. I'm not doing anything. Yeah. I ain't doing no IPAs. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, I can totally become a recluse and just kind of isolate and just disappear. But it's not, you can't do that. And that's why for us, that most important element is that relationship with God. And so he also then, of course, begins to share with me how I can provide more attention for him. And when it comes to, you still got to include those, have those intimate moments as well, and date. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that's kind of, it may seem trivial, but you still have to date your spouse, even when you're married. So even if that means going on small walks, just the small things is what would matter. Even if it means writing a little note, putting it on the side of the bed so they see it when they first wake up in the morning. It could be the smallest things that really, really matters. Or making the other person breakfast, right? You getting up and smelling some good breakfast, boy, and you know how that common saying is, a way to a man's heart is through their stomach. Well, it might be a little table turn. When it comes, and anybody that knows me, especially my sister watching on the stream, I believe Alicia is still watching. She probably knows that I love to eat. So, if I have a great meal, my goodness, that would just set and make my day. Okay. So, but even beyond that, you just got to find those small ways to connect. So anything else you want to share with them before I know we transition? I know you got to go and check on those little bambinos. Yeah. Anything else you want to share with them? No? All right. So I guess I'll pick it up from here. This is my guest, my special co-host for this episode, everyone. So he's going to head out, of course, with the kids.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right. So again, everyone, thank you. That was, of course, my special co-host for tonight during this episode. And so from my perspective, when it comes to, I'll just take a little bit of time and focus in on being a wife. Again, it's really important that you really just connect. For most women that I'm connected to and their wives as well, we can be the one that talks, but sometimes we have to take a moment and just do more listening than anything. I think listening is an important skill, whether it's in business or within your marriage. So do more listening, okay? Try to connect even more, find out what's going on, find out how you can be more helpful, how you guys can work together and be more helpful inside of the home. And when it comes to building the business, because if I have, for example, 3-way calls, or if I have to do, a live stream, he's out right now. Of course, he's making sure the kids are good, and I'm finishing up the video here. So it's very important that you have someone who's willing to work with you, support you in other ways so that things can get done. Is it going to be completely balanced off? No. Okay, there's going to be times where you give more attention to one thing versus the other thing, but it's important that you do go back and give more time to that other thing. So whether that other thing is your marriage, whether the other thing is your children, or even yourself, wives, yourself, husbands, make sure you do that. I feel that this is important because when I saw that stat about the domestic violence rising up, I said, oh no, we got to come together, baby. We got to make this thing work. Okay? And so if you feel that you need like a listening ear, look, I know, even though I haven't really done it, okay, right? I know I can pick up the phone. I can either call my mom, okay, if I'm getting stressed, right? I know I can probably text Alicia, and if it really gets that bad, I probably can give her a call and be like, look, right? I need some help. So, when it comes to, these things, I know, just good to have that support system. That brings that to me. Look, even though we got this social distancing going on, you still can pick up a phone and call. There are people who are willing, more than willing, to be that listening ear, okay, whenever you're stressed. So don't feel like you're alone just because you may be physically alone, right? Maybe you don't have anybody else living in your home. Pick up the phone, okay? If we're connected on social media, of course, inbox me first, all right? Because, with 2 kids and a husband and myself, you never know what we have going on at one particular point of the day. Inbox me first, and then we take it from there, okay? But, hey, we're connected. That's point number 1. And if there's something serious going on and I need to get on the phone or we need to pray, we're going to pray. I'm not that type of person that, if you seem really stressed out in your inbox, trust me, what's your phone number? We're about to pray right now, not later. I'm going to pray for you, boo. Nope. What's the phone number? Let's get on the phone and pray right now. And so there's no time to delay. We got to get this thing done. You know how some people say, I'm going to keep you in my prayers. We're not doing anything. Majority of the world is home. Let's go ahead and pray and knock this out. So, okay. So again, I just want to say I appreciate everyone. We're talking about intimate relationships and business and how to really do life and business together. And I'm hoping that the talk that I've had with my husband being here and sharing the male perspective has been really helpful for each and every one of you out there. If you know a husband, if you know a wife, if you know even just ladies in general and you're dating, look, share it with them. Okay, it can be very, very helpful for them. And just know that there are professionals available as well. Many of you don't know, but I am a qualified mental health type of assistant as well. So if you're going to that point where you're completely stressed out and you need someone to speak to as far as needing professional strategies to use, yes, inbox me. Okay, that's what I'm here to help you with. Even though, of course, there may not be that type of relationship. Understand, just because I may not be like your professional counselor, I'm still able to help you out. Okay, I'm licensed in that area, by the way. It's not just so, Lakeisha just calls herself a counselor. No, I'm actually a licensed mental health professional. Okay, so I can help you with real life strategies to help you get through this challenging time. So again, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you. And so we're preparing for the 9 o'clock wealth building presentation. It's going to take place at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do this presentation Monday through Saturdays, 12 o'clock noon and 9 o'clock p.m. And so you can tune in. Make sure you download the Zoom app. I'm fixing my hair. I don't like the way this is laying. But it's going to happen at 9 o'clock p.m. Download the Zoom Cloud Meetings app first on your laptop or your phone. And then make sure you plug in at goldrocks.info. I know my sis is probably typing that in. But goldrocks.info. You can go there, find out how to get that cash flow coming into your home where you can get paid 5 times a month. Not 1 time, 5 times a month. You don't have to wait on a stimulus. Okay, you don't have to depend on anyone else to give you a check. You can write your own check. You can give your own self a raise. Okay. And also, there are a myriad of other benefits, for being plugged into the money system that the presentation is going to share at 9. So thank you so very much. We'll be back for a fresh episode here with the Leadership TKO live night show tomorrow night around about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, I encourage each and every one of you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night, everyone. God bless. And I'll catch you on goldrocks.info.